Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Kickstart Privacy. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the role of a DPO in an organization. This video will be very helpful for the privacy professional like you or any aspiring individual who wants to become a DPO or those who are planning to focus their area of expertise into data protection. All right. TPO is an individual designated by an organization to oversee its data protection strategy and ensure compliance with the data protection laws and regulation. So having a DPO can be beneficial for organization to ensure robust data protection practices. Right. Okay, here let's play a role of a DPO. So I'm going to cover these topics today. Introduction, how hard is to become a DPO, the goal and objectives, duties of a data protection officer, with some examples, and finally the conclusion. All right. The introduction. A data protection officer plays a crucial role in an organization, right? Especially in ensuring compliance with the data protection regulations, such as the General Data Protection Regulation in the European Union. The responsibilities of a DPO can vary depending on the organization's size, the nature of the data being processed, and the complexity of data processing activities. Here are some of the primary responsibilities and the tasks that are undertaken by a DPO typically. Next, how hard? No. How easy is to become a DPO, right? Becoming a DPO requires a combination of formal education, specialized training, and practical experience, right? The difficulty of becoming a DPO can vary based on your starting point, period knowledge, and the resources available to you. Here are the breakdown of what it takes. So, educational background. Ideally, a DPO should have a background in law or IT, though it is not a strict requirement. Having a foundation in these fields can be beneficial because a lot of data protection revolves around legal compliance and understanding of IT infrastructure. Right. The second thing is getting a specialized training. GDPR and other data protection regulations require a DPO to have expert knowledge in data protection laws and practices, right? This typically means attending specialized training programs, workshops, and courses dedicated to data protection, privacy, and related subjects. The third one is certifications. There are various certifications available for data protection and privacy, such as uh, the IAPP certification like CIPP, CIPP, CIPM, CIPT, or CDPO. Obtaining these certifications can be challenging and requires studying, but they significantly bolster your credentials, right? Next thing is practical experience. Like many roles, the theoretical knowledge gained from the books and the courses needs to be complemented by hands-on experience, right? Working in data protection roles, even if not directly as a DPO, can be beneficial. This can include roles related to data management, IT security, legal compliance, or privacy. And in the case of soft skills, a DPO must have excellent communication skill because they will be working across departments, explaining complex regulations in simple terms and helping train staff. Additionally, analytical skills, decision making abilities, and attention to details are crucial. The next thing is ongoing learning. Data protection is a constantly evolving field, right? New regulations, technological advancements, and the best practices mean that a DPO must be committed to ongoing learning. And finally, networking. Building relationships with other professionals in the same field can provide valuable insights, advice, and of course, the opportunities, right? Next, what is the goal of a data protection officer? The goal of a data protection officer is multifaceted, right? But it predominantly revolves around ensuring an organization's data processing activities comply with data protection laws and respect the privacy rights of individuals, right? Next, objective. There are many objectives. I have chosen four objectives here. Ensure that the organization remains compliant with data protection regulations and laws, avoiding potential penalties and safeguarding its reputation. Next, build and maintain trust among stakeholders, including customers, partners, and employees, by demonstrating that the organization respects and protects personal data. Next, integrate the data protection principles seamlessly into the organization's operations, ensuring that every department or unit that handles personal data is aware of and adheres to the best practices. And finally, identify the potential data protection risks in a timely manner and work proactively to address them before they escalate. All right. Next, there are tasks performed by a DPO. So the roles and responsibilities for this task, ensure that the organization is always in line with data protection laws, that potential risks are identified and mitigated early on, and that all staff understand and comply with the data protection principles. Okay, let's go one by one. The task performed by a DPO. Task. Okay, I have chosen 14 different tasks. Let's go one by one. What are the tasks performed by a DPO and the teams he or she needs to, collaborate with, and with some example to understand. Okay, the first task is, it may be different in numbers, but I go with compliance with data protection law as a first task. Uh, so task perspective, as a DPO, you need to regularly research and study both local and international regulations to ensure the organization is updated, organize periodic compliance audits, and adapt the organizational practices based on findings. So the team you need to collaborate with, the legal department for interpreting legislation, IT department for ensuring technical compliance, HR for staff training, and all department heads to ensure operational compliance, which is very, very important. And one example here is, when a new GDPR amendment is proposed. So as a DPO, you need to organize a roundtable with the relevant departments to discuss its implications. Okay, next. Next task is to develop policy and maintaining it. So as a DPO, you need to initiate regular sessions for reviewing existing policies and draft updates when necessary and ensure that all changes are effectively communicated to all the stakeholders within the organization, right? The team you need to collaborate with are the legal team again for policy vetting, IT for technical implications, and the department heads for operational alignment. The example here is, after a significant software update in the CRM system, we need to rewrite the sections of the privacy policy to include the new data collection features, right? Next, doing or performing data protection impact assessments, the DPIAs. So the task is establish a process for DPIA to be conducted when introducing new data processing operations. I have published another video on DPIAs, so you go back and check the difference between DPIA and PIA and what are the activities that needs to be performed when you need to perform. Everything is there in the video, and documenting and mitigating the potential privacy risk. The collaboration here is the IT team, for understanding the technical implications, R&D for new product introductions, and the legal department for ensuring the DPAA is in compliance with the law. The example here is, before releasing a new customer survey tool, as a DPO, you need to carry out a DPIA to evaluate the risk associated with gathering additional customers' data, right? Next, training and awareness. The task here is to develop training modules that highlight the key data protection points, organize regular training sessions, and refreshers training as well. The team you need to collaborate with or HR for organizing training sessions, IT for technical insights, and external experts, if you want to hire for any specialized training. Example, you need to organize an annual data protection day where employees undergo refresher training and participate in workshops. You make this the refresher training as mandatory e-learning in your organization. Next, advice and consultation. So as a DPO, you need to maintain an open channel for all departments to seek advice. Regularly update oneself with the latest standards and practices to provide the accurate advice. Collaboration, continuous interaction with all the departments, especially the IT, legal, and HR. Example, when you want to give advice or someone from the departments want to have a consult with you, in this case, a marketing department wants to launch a new campaign collecting users' data. In that case, they need to consult you to ensure it is compliant, right? Uh, Next is monitoring and auditing. The task, as a DPO, you need to set up a routine compliance checks and data protection audits, analyze the results and recommend if any corrective action is required. Collaboration, of course, IT for systems audit, HR for staff compliance, and external auditors for any unbiased reviews. Example, upon noticing, during your audit, recurring unauthorized access, data access pattern, observed. So you need to recommend a two-factor authentication implementation to the ITT. Next, data breach management. So the task is to establish a detailed data breach response plan. This should include the steps on how to identify, how to contain it, and assess it, and notify it, and finally, on how to recover it. And the collaboration with the IT team to address if there are any technical issues, PR for public communication, legal for any legal implications, and HR to manage internal communication. For example, in case of a detected breach, you need to assemble a task force, including the representatives from IT, legal, and PR to handle the situation in a coordinated manner. Right. Next, liaison with supervisory authorities. The task is to maintain a direct line of communication with the relevant data protection authorities, the DPAs. This ensures that the organization can quickly address any inquiries or audits. Collaboration, of course, the legal for understanding the regulatory nuances, senior management for any strategic alignment, and IT for technical demonstrations if required by the DPAs. For example, when a supervisory authority inquires about data storage practices in our organization, you need to organize a joint meeting with IT and legal to provide a comprehensive response. Next, rights of data subjects. So this is very important. Is all of them is very important, but compared to this one is more important than the others. The task here is to ensure there is a system in place to handle requests from individuals about their data, whether it is an access, rectification, or a deletion, or any other data subject request you receive. The collaboration team, the customer support team, or if you have any DSR team available in your organization, assign it to them, and IT for executing any technical part of the request, such as retrieving the data from the storage devices or any other storage locations, and legal for any disputes. And example, if a customer requests to view all data held about them, work with the IT to extract the data and with customer support to communicate it effectively. So there are timelines we need to adhere to. So that's why I said that's very important when it comes to the data subject request. Next, risk management. So the task here is to regularly assess the data protection landscape for new risk. This could involve surveys. You may do the vulnerability assessments and risk analysis. Collaboration, yes, with IT for technical vulnerabilities, HR for potential human risks, and operations for process-related risk. Example, if a new ransomware trend emerges, collaborate with IT to assess the system's vulnerabilities and recommend any preventive measures. Next, a record keeping. The task here is to maintain a meticulous log of all data processing activities, which is the records of data processing activities, or otherwise called ROPA. Ensure that these records are detailed and easily accessible. Okay. And the collaboration, you need to collaborate with the department heads for activity logs, IT for storage and retrieval solutions, and legal for ensuring compliance with record keeping. Example, when launching a new promotional campaign, you need to log all associated data processing activities, such as the data sources, the reason for the processing activities, and the other data handling protocols. Next, vendor management. The task here is to review the vendor contracts and the practices to ensure they are in compliance with data protection standards. Collaboration here is the operations team, for vendor interactions, legal for contract reviews, and IT for any technical compliance check with the vendor. Example, before onboarding a new cloud service provider, a third party vendor assess their data protection policies and negotiate terms to align with our organizational standards, right? Next, promote a data protection culture. So the task is to host regular awareness events, display data protection reminders, and champion the importance of data protection at all levels. Collaboration, HR for training and cultural integration, department heads for operational implementation, and external experts for any specialized insights. Example, you can organize a data protection week with guest speakers. You can bring guest speakers within your organization or outside. You can conduct workshops or question and answer sessions to promote a data centric culture. And last but not least, stay updated. The task here is to dedicate time for professional development, which is very very important. You need to attend seminars. Don't miss any seminars if it is related to your topic. Read a publication. You can subscribe to any popular publications and take courses on the evolving landscape of data protection, right? Collaboration, engage with industry peers. You can join professional organizations and liaise with the legal and IT for insights into emerging trends and technologies. The example here is to, as a DPO, you can attend an annual data protection conference, if any, and upon return, you need to share the learnings and best practices within the organizations, which is very, very mandatory, right? So, finally, the conclusion. Becoming a data protection officer is not as hard as it might seem, right? With the right training and a bit of experience, anyone with an interest in data protection can step into the role. All right. It's an important job, especially in today's online world. However, with good support and learning resources, it's certainly achievable for those willing to put in the effort, right? And now, are you ready to become a data protection officer? Say yes. Yeah, I hope so. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe and stay tuned for more interesting topics in data privacy and protection. Bye bye.